Hello, beautiful beings. My name's Rebecca. Welcome to this channel where we are awakening up together, remembering our greatness, and we're doing a lot of it through the power of voice. I want to talk about the throat chakra today. I want to talk about how Mercury retrograde is a huge opportunity to heal and balance the throat chakra. So before I dive in, please make sure you join the tribe. Subscribe, click the bell. I do a sound bath every Wednesday, and then I sprinkle out some other messages, 2 or 3 other videos throughout the week. So let's dive in. Mercury retrograde. Perhaps you have been at the mercy of Mercury retrograde in the past, where your electronics stop working, where you start getting into arguments and with relationships, and you start being misunderstood. And by the end of the 3-week Mercury retrograde, you're like trying to pull your hair out. You're like, oh my God. And then, oh, sweet relief, it goes direct again. Well, I'm here to say that there is a way to get through Mercury retrograde with ease and joy. And it's a perfect setup to heal this energetic center of our body, which is all about authenticity, trust, choice, expression. So let's dive in. How does Mercury retrograde help us heal the throat chakra? Well, Mercury retrograde is a time where things kind of slow down a little bit. Notice all the electronics start going wacky, right? Maybe that's an invitation to get off electronics and go out into the natural world, nature. Things start slowing down. So if we are willing to slow down with it, if we are willing to be the energy of awareness, be aware of the energy and start going at its pace, then there is a ton of awareness we can have with our throat chakra. So think about this. You think about seasons actually, fall, spring, winter, summer. They all have kind of an energy to them, right? Fall has this kind of quieting down. Winter has almost this cave time feeling to it. Spring has this expansion feeling to it, and summer has this kind of a blooming feeling to it. It's the same thing with Mercury retrograde. It has a slowing down. So if you think about listening to the radio and you're singing rock music, maybe you're singing the ballads now and through Mercury retrograde. So I'm having a tough time saying that, Mercury retrograde. But since it is a time to slow down, it's the perfect time to become aware of what's happening with your communication, with your authenticity, with your sense of choice and trust. So think about when you're in an argument with someone, say being misunderstood, and you're really arguing with someone in Mercury retrograde. Before that happens, I want you to pause, and I want you to feel the energy of what you just want to go like spew at them, right? Whenever we want to spew something, the throat chakra, we're triggered and we just want to puke something out at them. I want you to pause. Enjoy the soft slowing down of Mercury retrograde. Pause and be with that triggered energy in the throat chakra. And I want you to do the sound E. E. It doesn't have to sound pretty. Just take the energy that you were going to just spew at that person and run E through it, vocal tone. Then have the awareness. Now what do I really want to say to this person? And sometimes if we're willing to release the energy here, we can actually feel here more. So you start to really make this play and connection between what you're really feeling and what you can really express. So if we express our feelings to someone, instead of just our thoughts about them, things might go a lot better. Marshall Rosenberg talks a lot about that in nonviolent communication, talking about communicating your feelings, not your judgments or beliefs or your thoughts around things about a situation. So after you let out that E, the trigger will have calmed down, and you can tune into your heart and really tune into what you really want to be expressing. And the other cool part about that is it'll bring you to an awareness of what the person on the other side here you're having a conversation with can hear. So it's a really good practice to be an awareness of what someone can receive from you verbally, energetically. And if you have your own agenda and you just want to throw words and energy on someone, but they can't really receive it, they're not in the space to receive it, they're just not in the space to receive it, what happens? That's actually abuse. And believe me, I've been there and done that to people, and I'm trying to learn that not everyone can really receive what we want to be communicating. So it's a really great idea as we slow down during Mercury retrograde and we let out the triggered energy in the throat chakra with E, and we tune in to that other person's energy and say, what can they hear from me right now? Like, I've got this huge agenda that I want to express, but what can they really hear? And from there, you make a choice. Throat chakra is all about choice, too. From there, we make the choice of what to communicate and express authentically and gently and slowly. So this is the power of Mercury retrograde. It really helps us slow down, back up, integrate, come from authenticity rather than a triggered response from the past. Let's be authentic in the present moment now. So the sounds that you can use to really balance and start clearing the throat chakra is E, right? Or hum, hum, hum. One's just the chakra toning sound. The other one's a seed mantra sound. And tune in. Tune into your own throat chakra. What what wants to be sounded there. It doesn't have to be the sounds that I say and that the different maps say. It could just be something that your throat really wants to move energy with a different sound. Follow that. But whatever you do, use this opportunity of the Mercury retrograde to just slow down, to tune in and invite more awareness about your triggers, about the energetics of people in front of you, awareness about your own feelings and how that's being funneled up through your throat chakra or not. Sometimes when we come into an awakening journey and a healing journey, we just want to just express. And a lot of it is coming from a triggered inner child. And sometimes we want to go deeper and talk to that inner child, just as we would our own children. If you have kids, you'd want to talk to them about their feelings before they go in and tell the teacher how they're feeling about schoolwork or something, right? You want to process some of the feelings, process some of the wounding before you really go out and express verbally to people. So I cannot express this enough. I've gone through this road my entire life, just kind of putting my foot in my mouth and not slowing down, like pausing and really tuning into this awareness of energetics, of feelings, of truth, of of old patterns, right? All of that's there for us to be aware of. And this Mercury retrograde slows us down enough to really be aware of all of it. So another point I wanted to make out is that your voice can give you this awareness as well. So you may be able to catch this before you start talking. Like I'm saying, like, okay, pause. If you feel frustrated with someone, pause, tune into the trigger, do the E. But if you haven't, if you go past that awareness and you start listening to yourself talk, notice the tone in your voice. Notice the tone. Is it a present moment tone? Or is it a tone that is represented from something from your past? Perhaps you're mimicking your mother, your father. a teacher, a coach that you have. Yeah, all that can be heard if you take a moment to be aware, what tone am I speaking with? Oh my gosh, who am I mimicking? Oh my gosh, I'm being my mother when she always got annoyed at me. Now, if you can slow down enough to have that awareness, then you can pause again and do that E, and you can just say, I'm going to pause this argument. I'll be right back. You can do that. The person on the other side might feel relieved, or they might get frustrated, but you could just say, you know what, I'm aware of how I'm talking to you, and it doesn't feel good to me. I want to do better. So you go back and you reassess. But the cool part about hearing the tone that you're speaking from, you are going into some subconscious vibration that's running the show for your life. And it may be a low vibration that's kind of holding you back, kind of like a little like ball and chain. And this is the moment you have to go in and see what that ball and chain is and say, oh, I don't want to live from that frequency anymore. I don't want to keep like creating my life from this anymore. So awareness is so key to being like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore. Once you bring it up to the conscious level of your brain, then you have more choice. You can make decisions around what you're doing. You can choose a different tone of voice. You can choose a different vibration. And you can do that through vocal toning too. So it's like, well, how do I instantly change my tone of voice? It must be linked to a trigger or to a feeling. Correct. Pause and go back to vocal toning. Become aware of the ball and chain in your subconscious of what that tone is coming from. Bring your voice to it and just tone. E, ah, oh, ooh, whatever wants to come through, and keep toning it until it feels heard, until it feels processed, until it releases. And under that, you will find your authentic tone of voice, your inner peace, your contentment, your joy. All that's your authenticity. So once you tone that ball and chain, once you become aware of it through the tone of your voice, then all of a sudden your authentic tone is there. That's not triggering to others, right? So all of this is helped along by this Mercury retrograde, which we're going to go into. I believe it's around September 10th and 11th. We're going to start feeling that Mercury retrograde energy. This is 2022. But please use this information for whichever year we're in. When you watch this video, Mercury retrograde gives us an opportunity to slow it down. And if we're willing to slow down with that energy, we are able to have more opportunities to grow our awareness, especially with how we're communicating and what tone of voice we're using. And all of that gives us information of like what wants to be felt in the heart, what's in the subconscious, that's old programming that we don't want to vibrate from anymore. So let me know in the comments, was this helpful to you? This whole concept came to me in my meditation this morning, and it felt really good to make some videos and share this with you because it feels really important. It's important information for me to slow down and look at this, and I hope you will find some value in this as well. So, beautiful being, thanks for tuning in. If you would like some support with your throat chakra, I do have an online course. The link is down below. We go over all the chakra tones. We go over the emotional guidance system. You learn about vocal anatomy, and you learn how to use your voice to cultivate more inner peace, purpose, and personal power. That link is down there. It's called Vocal Toning for Manifesting. And so that's available to you. And I also do privates as well. So, beautiful being, I'll see you next time. Namaste.